right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. I don't know why that every single year, we seem to have to continue to keep going over these arguments of when is the Passover, when is not the Passover, when it should be celebrated, when it shouldn't be celebrated. You know, myself, the elders and the saints of the Most High Yah here at Straitway, we have probably celebrated Passover. I mean, every which way you think of it, we've done it over the years. While I do believe that we're definitely in the season, it is my own personal opinion that we're all striving, those of us who are Hebrews, and we're teaching the Gentiles our ways and our laws and our statutes, which that's what I desire to do, providing you want to be an Israelite. All right. The contention every single year concerning when the time frame is just utterly amazing. But you know what I'm gonna do? This year I'm gonna make it so elementary for people to be able to understand when this Passover time is, at least from what I believe. And I'm gonna give you a few reasons why I do not ascribe to a lot of the ways of the nations or what other people say. You see, a lot of people get on YouTube and say that somebody has been to Jerusalem and this is the month of Abib. Or some people will say, okay, look, we've got barley in our field. And because we have barley in our field, this is the reason for the Passover. And then other people would turn around and say, you know, that these are all the reasons, and this is the reason why we have these things, okay? So I'm going to make it so simple for you. Now, some of you choose to celebrate it in March. And I'm basically telling you, as an agricultural man, as a man that lives in the country, I'm basically telling you right now that this is not the beginning of the months. This is not the springtime. And I'll prove it to you. Okay? All right? Behind me, when you look at the trees, look at the trees. All right? Just agriculturally, look at the trees. Look behind me. You are starting to see some growth on some of it, but look, you're not really truly looking at springtime when we've come out of the dead season and things are alive. That's when the Passover season is. I mean, after all, let's go over here for a second. You know, you see, we have a few cows back here, but let's look at these trees right here. See, some of them, only some of them are beginning to bloom. Now, when you consider the Feast of Tabernacles, and when we get into the fall, this is how you know that the fall feast is. You know, some people are saying that Tabernacles is going to begin in September, early part of September. I don't agree with that. And the reason why I don't agree with it, look, do you know that it is still extremely hot here at Straitway? And who knows where you at in your part of the world. But see, right now, today is March 23rd, and some people are getting ready to celebrate Passover this weekend. But you see the reason why I cannot celebrate? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll come back, be the Father's will, a month from now. And I'll show you what it means to be in the springtime. I'll show you, hopefully, be the Father's will. I'll give you some comprehension, some understanding of the reason why when we celebrate things, at least from our studies, we've done it from a biblical perspective. So I believe in the conjunction, okay? And I also believe, and definitely agriculture, you can see that this is definitely not Passover time. But I tell you one thing, be the Father's will, provided we're around, all of us. I'll come back on here about this time. Today is the 23rd of March. We'll come back to 23rd of April, and we'll look at this same scenery. And we'll see if we are in the springtime, just like the Passover is called. It's part of the spring feast. And then you have Pentecost is there in midsummer, and then you have the fall feast of tabernacle. So without going into a whole bunch of theology, if you want to know the theological perspective of Passover and stuff, when I get back into the house, I may include a couple of links down here below to give you some of the teachings of how we actually do the Passover. But I just thought I'd do what I could to bring some comprehension and some understanding for those who are with us in the Straitway Truth Ministry. You know, we've been at this for a long time. 25 years we've been living set apart and doing this thing. We've been on this community 18 years. And believe you me, I would say, about virtue of knowledge, experience, and living this way, that Yah's given us a great understanding of his Torah. But y'all be encouraged. No need to be contentions over any of this. After all, the Father will be looking on our hearts, but I hope that I've some way, somehow, at least logically, have given you a reason why that we are definitely not right now in the Passover or the Feast of Unleavened Bread season. And of course, if you were to use this as the time frame, you have to figure that your fall feast of Tabernacles is going to be extremely hot. Now, usually when Tabernacles is around, it's kind of cool. The leaves are falling off the tree. Half of them are gone. We are definitely in the fall. We have harvested everything that there could have been of our garden and our greenhouse, and there is nothing left to grow unless we are in our greenhouse and we planted a winter crop, trying to extend a few things here just for a little bit to get some more greens. But anyway, that is the most simple understanding that I could possibly give you. There is something to be said, and there is something to be had when someone has the experience. I often say over and over again, the people with the argument is always at the mercy of the ones with the experience. Shalom. Have a wonderful day. The King is coming.